will you be reaching out to Eddie about this potential fight if Devin can beat Gamboa?
No, because the fight that I think if Lopez is going to stay at lightweight and there is no rematch, the fight that I would like to see him would be against this Garcia kid, Ryan Garcia, who's fighting your Luke Campbell. If Garcia beats Campbell, you have to understand the biggest group of fight fans, and particularly if you're talking about pay-per-view, are the Hispanics. And Garcia has a Ryan Garcia has a tremendous following on social media, and that fight would be a lot more interesting than a Devin Haney fight.
Of uncertainty is, as we were told from the start, you cannot be the undisputed champion if you're a franchise champion, right? So therefore, is Teofimo Lopez the undisputed champion? But the fact is, the truth is, whilst he should be recognised as an undisputed champion, he is not an undisputed champion. He can't be the undisputed champion. Let me tell you why. Because the other governing bodies will not recognise the franchise championship as a full championship.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
You mentioned 140 pounds. There's a lot of guys at 135 that are close to moving up as well. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, even Gervonta Davis, could be a 140 in the future, I suppose. What do you think is going to be the mega fight for Teofimo Lopez in the future?
All of them. But these guys, they gotta do their thing. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing our thing. We don't go backwards. You know, I told my son, we're not in the sport to go backwards. So these kids, they gotta do their thing, so they could come up to us and step up to the plate. I don't want none of them losing because those are mega fights.
Hey, but look, you're wearing the hat, Nostradamus. Pick one fight. What is the mega fight in the sport? Teofimo Lopez versus who in a couple of years or next year?
Devin Haney. I would say Devin Haney.
Thank you, Mike.
Who would you like to fight at? Obviously some attractive options there at lightweight. Who would you like to fight the most?
I don't mind being the two-time email world champion. You know what I mean? That'll be fine. You know, I know a lot of people are already saying that this is not for undisputed because of that. Whatever with Mauricio Suleiman and whatever he did. But
Teofimo should fight Devin Haney to be undisputed, and that should really be the fight next, to be honest with you, bro.
What's your take on Bob Arum? He came out and said that he want Ryan versus Teo. If Ryan is able to win his next fight against Campbell, he said that he'd rather see that fight next for Teo. Because Ryan been saying a lot about Campbell. He said Campbell's known for losing. All his step-ups, he lost. He even got a loss to a fighter that he wasn't supposed to lose to. So he got 20 fights, 3 losses. But supposedly, Ryan, that's all he need right now in order to get a Teo fight. However, they not seem to be interested in the Devin Haney fight. They don't want to become undisputed, at least not Bob and ESPN. They just, I mean, again, it's that NBF, no black fighters. And we already know what that stands for because Bob Arum, his right-hand man, the matchmaker, he stated that. So what's your take on that?
To be honest with you, bro, that's just complete and utter bullshit for Bob Arum to be pulling this kind of bullshit, bro. And the reason I'm saying that, bro, is because of the simple fact that how can he be sitting here calling Teofimo undisputed and calling Teofimo at lightweight when he hasn't even fought Devin Haney? He said it himself after the fight on ESPN at the fight podcast. The biggest fight would be Devin Haney, and even on paper. Why is he talking about Ryan Garcia? Why is Ryan Garcia being even mentioned?
Bob Arum said that?
No, Teofimo did, and his dad.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about,
yeah. Yeah, and the simple fact that everybody's talking about all these other fights that need to be made with Teo and this and that, man, I'm not trying to, sound like a, antagonist or, just some asshole, but the fight that needs to be talked about is Teofimo versus Devin Haney for undisputed. I don't know what the hell Bob Arum's on, dude. I honestly think Bob Arum's looking for extra money, and I think he's trying to stay with the popular crowd because Ryan Garcia is very popular on social media. So I think he's trying to stick with that. Same with Teo because he's the young, upcoming, undisputed fighter, supposedly, and, this and that. Well, I think that's what Bob Arum's on.
I think what he's looking at is the safest fight, to be honest with you. I mean, because Tank is a bigger fight. I mean, if we're talking about bigger fight at the moment, Tank is a bigger fight. Teo versus Tank will be a huge, tremendous fight, you know. But he seemed to be paying attention to Ryan more so because I think he's looking at Ryan like he's more beatable. When it comes to Devin, they're looking at Lomachenko's business decision of requesting a belt, a witness protection belt, the French fries belt, in order to avoid Devin. And they're like, hold on, if Lomachenko wanted no smoke with Devin that much, he must see something in Devin. So we don't want that Devin problem. And, you know, Tio Sr. came out and said that that's his dream fight down the line. That's going to be a mega fight, the biggest mega fight for Tio's career. That lets you know what's their mindset when it comes to the Devin Haney fight. I mean, they will definitely not trying to rush it. I do believe they're going to fight eventually, but from what I've been hearing from Tio and his father, and as far as the network itself, ESPN, and now the promoter, Bob Arum, it sounds like they don't want the Devin Haney fight right now, you know. So, I mean, I could be wrong. You know, Tio is talking shit when it comes to Devin Haney. But talk is cheap. You know what I mean? Talk is cheap. So at the end of the day, I think Tio might want the fight, but it's a lot of people whispering in his ear, like, yo, don't take that Devin Haney fight right now, including his father, most likely, and Bob Arum definitely.
And the fact that he lost to him in sparring. Devin Haney whooped his ass in sparring twice.
Bill Haney told me that. Bill Haney said that Tio couldn't touch Devin Haney in sparring, so that's already a bad sign right there. I told him, I was like, well, if that's the case, then I don't see them fighting anytime soon, because if Bob Arum ever hear that, this case closed. You know what I'm saying?
Choose Lomachenko because I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history. Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested? Absolutely. Ooh, you just made headlines. Lomachenko. You just made headlines. Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top. Define the franchise belt. Can you define it? The franchise is not a belt. It's not a championship. It's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko are two sensational fighters who carry the industry.
Ask Cameron Duncan, do Top Rank have like columns of fighters, and they say, we don't want this guy fighting the black fighter, we don't want this fighter fighting the Mexican fighter, and so on and so forth?
You're gonna get into the racial stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
That's a theory there by the greatest matchmaker, probably, in my opinion, ever. And I'm not going to mention his name either, but you know what I'm talking about. And he used to have a thing up on his board, NBF, no black fighters. And when I was taught to bring up a fighter, you know, and again, it's just, he used to say to me, you can go anywhere in the country, and I'm going to leave it at this. I don't want to go into a long discussion because people are people in God's eyes, and we're all the same. He used to say to me, you can go anywhere into a city in America or anywhere in the world and ask a white guy, and he didn't say any other, he didn't say anything about Hispanic, anything. Ask a white guy to throw a jab, and half of them are going to turn backwards and throw it like a girl and everything. Ask any black man on a street corner in any city in the world, and they will snap out a jab in a heartbeat. And I used to laugh. He said, they're just more physically gifted. And he said, and so they have speed, and better to stay away from them. Nothing personal. So I said, okay. And I've lived by that. And, you know, I don't want to sound like some weird guy, but, you know, you're trying to be safe with your guys. And so, yeah, there is a thing about that, you know, but not in a bad way, in a very respectful way, you know, to be careful. So that's all.
The last man even said they doing that to protect them.
Right.
Somebody beat them, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is protect them from the big black guys.
So you would favor Devin Haney to beat Vasily?
This is Don Marlene. You watch AKHi TV. This is Richie Comet. Keep watching AKHi TV. Subscribe. 120, free bacon, egg, and cheese after my fight. We here with AKHi TV. You know, we out here.
That's what you get if you don't subscribe, huh?
Subscribe, like, you already know, comment.